Hello. Hello, everyone. Hello.
Good evening, everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can somebody answer once more?
Hello.
Can you hear me?
I think he's talking online.
Can you hear me online?
Yes,
Okay, great. Can't hear you through that. Hold on 1 second.
Oh, you did. Oh,
Can you say something again, Ms. Linda, please?
I can hear you just fine.
We can hear you. Say that.
I have a question about that.
Right.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. It is now 5:07 PM, Wednesday, April, oh, this is not the right date, Wednesday, June,
15.
July 15th, 2026, at 5:07 PM. Once again, we will call the meeting into order. Jeff, can I have a roll call?
Commissioner Smith,
Here.
Commissioner Decker,
Here.
Commissioner Young,
Here.
Commissioner Teresa.
Here.
I'm so sorry, Commissioner
That's all
Glenn, I
right.
meant Commissioner Zakos is absent, Commissioner Wolf is absent.
It's not online.
She is not. Is not.
We will roll right
We have a
into,
quorum.
thank you for that, Jeff. As you all know, our last meeting that we had was in April. Can I get approval of the minutes for April?
I'll make that one.
Can I get a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we have accounts payable here. For this time around, we have April, May, and June all lumped together as we did not have a meeting in May and June. Is there any questions on any of those for April, May, or June? Was everybody able to look them over? Can I get a motion?
I make that one.
Can I get a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next, we'll move right into reports. We have a report from the Executive Director, Jeff Dodson.
Good evening, Hudson Housing Authority, and welcome back to our meeting. I just want to share a few things about what we're doing and where we are. First thing that's happening, or most important thing right now on the agenda is that we're having our tenant appreciation day. Excuse me. In a better meeting space so we can hear. Is that better?
Yeah.
All right, we're having our tenant appreciation day on this Friday. It is our gathering for the residents. It's our opportunity, although we serve them daily, this is so that we can serve them in a different capacity. And we have our vendors from the community that provide services that our residents will get the opportunity to go around and talk to and see what services they will provide. We also have the police and fire department that attend, as well as the sheriff's department. City government representatives will be here, and we will be cooking for and feeding our residents and playing some music, dancing, and playing games. We have a bouncy house for the kids, for East Paving, all of those type of things, and we will be thanking our sponsors at that time. This is largely this is something that has occurred since I've been here. But it's also, largely due to a grant that we've received for the last 3 years from, Baker Greene County Charitable, Foundation. And they've given money to us so that we can have this event as well as our other sponsors. So we want to thank them publicly and on the record, and we're looking forward to Bill running an amazing event. Next, just,
Jeffrey, can I ask a question? Are you gonna need anything specific from any of the commissioners?
no, we don't
like
need
health,
anything from the commission. I mean,
cooking.
if you can come and participate, and if you'd like to help serve, you're welcome to do that,
Okay.
but we will be taking care of that. We would love for you to pop by. If you can't stay, but at least come by, and say hello and connect to the residents. It gives you the opportunity to talk, and just connect. And for our photographer to take pictures, that's me. So we get opportunities so we can, capture our memories and put them on our website and keep them in our accounts. Also, I'm down talking about the building, and our elevator is down. It's been down for a couple of weeks. Unfortunately, we have our,
Both
no,
of them?
just one.
Okay.
We have the small elevator, the small car is down, and there's a problem with the door motor. It's taking us some time to get it fixed because we have the parts are obsolete. And we have to go through some different procedures and vet different companies and see the best and most economical way we can use to get it fixed. We also have had our audit. And we had a clean audit. For the most part, there will be a report out in the audit. It will come in September at our annual meeting, which is the same time we will be selecting our officers and, for the upcoming year. Things of that nature. At this time, I will give the rest of the time, really most of my time to John Manuel from Development from Hong Kong to give an update on the conference.
Thanks, Jeff. Good afternoon, everyone. Jeff asked me to give you an update. Argentina is beating England 2-1. There's about maybe 10 minutes left, even less than that. I'll keep you posted.
Good.
The couple of things, unfortunately, I think you're probably aware already, the zoning board meeting this evening has been postponed. We've been able to get it for and they scheduled the meeting for, I think it's August 19th, I think.
That's correct.
So we'll be prepared for that. The planning board meeting is still scheduled for next week, the 21st, I think it is. So that will be a continuation of our site plan presentation. We've responded to the questions that have been asked of us by the planning board. We'll have our full contingent of architects and engineers, and be prepared to answer any additional questions, take them up here in the public or from the board. So that is moving forward. I think that it's going to be a coordination issue between the planning board and the zoning board. So I don't think that the planning board is going to want to take any, I'm not sure that they will take any action anyway next week. But I think without the zoning board meeting, they probably will not take any action. That's up to the chairperson and the members of the board until they see what the zoning board has to say on the townhouse site. But we'll be prepared to answer all questions in the project. Our architectural plans are moving ahead. The next 2 weeks, we'll have drawings that are 75% complete. And we'll be prepared to submit them not only to HCR, the state agency, but also to the city. The city, I think, is still in the process of trying to decide who's going to be reviewing the plans, whether it's going to be the existing people, whether they're going to bring in a consultant. But either way, our plans will be ready in the next 2 weeks. And the building department can start reviewing them at that point. We are still moving towards the December closing. There's still a lot of work to be done. That's a very good interest from investors who will buy the tax credits. We're working on, full tax credit application, which we'll probably be submitting to, the state. I would say probably by the middle of August. We'll be setting up a call with Darren Scott, who's the regional director of HCR, in the next week or so. One of the things we want to do is to put state's design team in touch with our design team. It's a process that the state goes through. The state, middle of 2025, I think, instituted new design guidelines to make all buildings more energy efficient, more sustainable. Also makes it more costly, but the state is willing to make sure that investment goes in to make sure you have a higher quality building. There's a request to regulations to do. State has a process with their design people will need to develop this design people to make sure that everybody's on the same page. So we're going to try to set that meeting up in the next couple of weeks. We're fortunate because we just our design team just went through that on another project in the state. So we think we have a little bit of a leg up there. With it. But you can't have your buildings different every, people can see different things and see what the state has to say. So we're moving ahead as fast as we can. The state GEC still is always a question mark how quickly they can move on things. And we're still testing the site and providing the information we need to state and brownfields of money. So I think I'm going to stop there, Jeff. Then a quick question.
Okay, one of my questions was, you said that investors to purchase the tax credits.
Yeah.
I don't understand that. So
Sure.
could you
Sure.
elaborate on that one? And then the second one is that you said something about the state changed their regulations on efficiency last year, right?
Yeah.
And so what did they do? Because I know it was something about the geothermal or something. Okay, so that, but the first one is the tax
Sure.
credit.
The first one is very fundamental. It's a great question. It's complicated. It's a big deal.
Okay, just, yeah.
Let me tell you, almost every significant affordable housing development gets developed in the state of New York. And I would say around the country, it's funded by what's called the federal low income housing tax credit program. Federal government allocates credits to each state in the country based on population and some other factors, some demographic factors. State then has an allocation of tax credits, which they use themselves, and they also give out some of those credits to different agencies, or sometimes to an IDA or some other agencies.
Mhm.
But the idea is that these tax credits are very valuable, and they're based on the cost of development. And what happens is you have to apply, in your development, you apply to the state and say, here's our project, here's how much it's going to cost, this is what it's going to look like, the rest of it. And based on that, the state will make a determination. We're going to give you a certain amount of tax credits. And it's a very competitive process because they're up until the last year, there were always more applications than there were tax credits available. In the last year, the federal government is giving more tax credits, so that's good. So not worried about the availability of tax credits, but it's still a competitive process. So what happens is Housing Authority and Malco put in an application to the state, there's a project, and the state will give us a number. And it might be $5 million. And that means that we have $5 million, then, but it's not, it's a $5 million allocation, but we get it over 10 years, we get it each year for 10 years. And we then sell it. It's like a commodity. So we go out in the market, okay, and there's a whole market.
You're talking about the developers go out and sell.
The developers
Yeah.
sell,
Mm.
developers sell, and the state knows it's, they know what the process is. So we reach out to syndicators, sort of like middlemen. And there's a whole industry that does this. There are many syndicators in the country. And we approach the syndicators and we say, here's our project, here's where it is, here's how much the allocation is. How much will you give us for each dollar of tax credit you give them? And it's a market fluctuation. So a couple of years ago, for large projects in New York City, tax credits were selling for $1.05, $1.10 for each dollar of allocation you got from the state. You're actually getting in $1.10 or $1.05 from the buyers. What happens is the buyers are usually large banks, like insurance companies, and they give you $1.10 and then they take it off their taxes.
Oh, so that's how they benefit.
That's how they benefit. They always make money on the deal, and that's fine. But it's a fluctuating market. Bad news is that the market has gone down over the course of the last couple of years. So while a couple of years ago, we were putting this project out, let's say 3 years ago, you might be looking at getting, here I would say maybe 85 cents, something like that, for each dollar. And now it's going to be less than, it's probably going to be in the high 70s or low 80s. It depends. A lot of it depends on the need of the banks. And a lot of banks do it because they also get CRA credit and some other benefits. So, but it's a process that we go through. We've spoken to a number of syndicators already before. We don't have an allocation yet. We just have an idea based on the cost, what an idea what it's going to be. We've spoken to a number of syndicators that are interested in the project. Some syndicators are not. Some syndicators will look at Hudson and say the community is too small. It has nothing to do with the project, it has nothing to do with the housing authority, it has nothing to do with the capability. They just say, we're not putting money in a community that's less than 75,000. Other syndicators will say, we don't need any credits this year. Okay, so we're not in the market. Okay, if it was next year, if it's last year, we'd be interested. So it's a market condition that we have to respond to. So we'll be going through that process over the course of the next couple of weeks. We'll be reporting back to you what type of response we get. And the state will, once we make our deal with the syndicator and the institution that's actually in private credit, state reviews it as well. So in other words, they want to make sure that they're getting
Right. And we get the money and they get the credit.
right. We basically what happens is they on a $5 million application, they probably would provide something like $40 million. So they give us $40 million. It's not a loan. It's a grant. It comes in because they're getting their tax
They get credit. Okay.
And this is, it's the very standard stuff. Your attorney, Brian Walter, does this deals all the time. Very familiar with the syndicators, very familiar with the lenders that you would, so it is very complicated and it's very opaque if you don't do it all the time. But for somebody like Brian, you've done 30 of these, so you know the process, you know the players. So that's how that works. And make it even more complicated. In addition to federal credits, and the state credits. The state has its own credit. State credits sell for around 60 cents. So it's, but we're asking for as much as you can get based on what we do.
And these are the vehicles used to fund the project.
Okay, so that's nice to know
The
that,
vehicles that are used to fund the project.
yeah, in other words, that's where we get more money from. That's good to know. 'Cause I didn't-
We have a preliminary enforcement we use. What do we do, what are we going to do like land, like construction costs, like the architects, and payroll, and things. And then on the other side of the ledger is the sources. Where are you getting money to pay all of these things? And we're going to show up, federal tax credits, state tax credits. State is going to provide subsidies, getting money from the state out of different subsidy programs. So you're going to see those numbers, and they're going to match up to show that we have enough money to pay all the costs.
Thank you.
That's that.
Thank you.
The question about the sustainability, and I'm honestly, I'm not the best person to talk about this. It is primarily directed at energy efficiency. So the first thing they look at is how are you going to seal the building? How tight you're going to make it building? What type of windows are you using? How can you get single pane windows, double pane, or triple pane? How are you going to insulate? How are you going to insulate behind the walls? How are you going to insulate the roof? So, and the state has given us standards that you have to meet certain standards. And those standards have been, the main issue is that they've increased the standards and make the buildings more energy efficient.
And that's for everybody within this state.
Yeah, everybody that's getting the state money has to do this. And it's a little bit different if they're rehab, it's a little bit different than new construction. It's a new construction building, so they want you to shoot the nuts. Do it right, okay, so it's fine, you can get the building done. So, so that, and that is a lot of back and forth between, the architects and, the state as a whole, what they call sustainability team. And they'll guide us, they'll say, no, you need to do this. So, it's not, again, it's part of the process, and, yeah.
Cool, thank you.
So that's where we are. We're moving ahead. Okay. We're really looking forward to the planning board meeting, get some feedback, different questions and responded to. With any questions from the planning board, I think we've given them good answers. And they have their job to do.
Right.
They have their job.
And we'll see where they are with determinations they make and how they decide to move forward, whether it's a conditional approval or not. We will, as an organization, press forward and request the best possible scenario for us. And for the benefit of the housing authority, for the benefit of the people that we serve, but ultimately the decision making lies with them. I'm sure.
Any questions? Anybody else have questions? Do you have any questions online? We are moving right on to resident public comment. Residents online?
No.
We are moving right on to new business. We have a few resolutions. We will start right off with the first one. This is approval of accounting services. This is resolution number 558.
Yeah.
And I will hand it over to our executive director, Jeffrey Dotson.
Thank you. Please notice there's some edits that I'm making as we go along in terms of dates. Because I grabbed the wrong documents, I apologize, but we will make sure that everything is updated. But this is resolution number 558, accounting services. Resolution authorizing an agreement with Clifton Larson Allen LLP, CLA LLP for accounting services. Whereas the Hudson Housing Authority issued a request for proposals, RFP for accounting services on April 22nd, 2026. Whereas two firms responded to the RFP and the executive director recommends accepting the proposal submitted by Clifton Larson Allen LLP, CLA, and whereas the Board of Commissioners of the Hudson Housing Authority desires to enter an agreement with CLA LLP for accounting services for a period of July 16th, that's tomorrow, through May 1st, 2028.
July 16th.
July 16th through May 1st, 2028.
And then, I'm sorry, but on here it says June 8th.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
okay,
And
yeah.
that's what I'm saying, the dates are wrong.
Okay.
Yeah. Whereas the agreement shall provide an allocation not to exceed 50,000 per annum. And whereas this funding will be used for CLA LLP to provide fee accounting services to the Hudson Housing Authority. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the Executive Director to an agreement with Clifton Larson Allen LLP for accounting services in the form acceptable to the Executive Director as of July 17th, July 16th, 2026.
July.
You have a motion?
I make that motion.
A motion is
A second.
properly moved and seconded. Are there any questions? July 16th, 2020 through May 2000, I'm sorry, July 16th, 2026 through May
First.
2020. Take a roll call vote for Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Decker.
Aye.
You had a question?
Yeah, I do.
I'm sorry,
It's not for a year.
2 years.
No, it's 2 years, every 2.
Oh, 28.
Yes, ma'am.
But shouldn't it be July 15th, 2028?
No, because we're voting on it today. I'm gonna execute it tomorrow.
No, I mean, the 2 full years would be July 16th to July 15th, 2028.
It could be, but they were, their initial RFP was ready, it's till now.
So we should change.
We're late. This was supposed to be, I was presenting it 2 meetings ago. So it would have been it would have been May to May at that time, but I had to modify it.
Okay, so now it's July to July.
Now it's July to May.
It's still July to May.
Yeah.
Okay.
The May still stands only
Yes.
because that's what they responded to for the RFP,
Okay.
so that has to stick.
Yeah. And it could be amended or approved for renewal, but that's what we put out. Any other questions? Roll call vote, Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Decker,
Aye.
Commissioner Young,
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner.
Aye.
The ayes have it. The next resolution is for resolution number 559, advance of developer fees. It's a resolution of authorizing the advance of developer fee. Whereas the Hudson Housing Authority, HHA, is partnering with Monco to develop replacement housing for Bliss Tower. Whereas Monco and
She can't find it. She's looking for it. It's here. It's after the page here.
it's right after all of the
It's gotta be like at
CLA.
the
Keep
end.
going.
This one?
Nope, keep going.
Keep going.
All the way to the end, right there.
Right here. Okay, thank
Sorry
you.
about that. Everybody have it?
Yep, I have it. Do you guys have it? Yeah. I apologize. That's all right.
This is the resolution authorizing the advance of developer fees. Whereas the Hudson Housing Authority is partnering with Monco to develop replacement housing for Bliss Tower. And whereas Monco and HHA are working with the state of New York and the United States Department of Housing and Urban Development to secure funding for the development. And whereas the financing for the development of replacement housing for Bliss Tower will include a development fee for Monco and HHA to pay expenses incurred and to be incurred with the redevelopment. And whereas Monco has agreed to advance the HHA portion of the anticipated developer fee to assist HHA to pay current expenses. And whereas these funds will be used to pay current expenses of HHA. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners hereby authorizes the Executive Director to execute an agreement with Monco to receive an advance of the anticipated developer fee and to repay Monco's advance upon receipt of the developer fee as a part of the redevelopment and replacement housing for Bliss Towers, adopted on this July 15, 2026. Are there any questions? Well, can we get a motion first? I'm sorry.
I make the motion.
So motion,
I'll second.
seconded by Commissioner Smith. Are there any questions? Take a roll call vote. Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Decker,
Aye.
Commissioner Young,
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner.
Aye.
So moved. Thank you. The next resolution is resolution number 560 for the tenant selection plan for the tenant-based rental assistance program, TDRO. Whereas the Hudson Housing Authority operates in accordance with applicable federal regulations and guides issued by the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. Whereas the tenant selection plan, TSP, we'll refer to it as for the TDRA, tenant-based rental assistance program, has been developed in compliance with HUD Handbook 450.3 and Hudson Housing Authority Administrative Plan. Whereas the proposed tenant selection TSP for TDRA was made available for public review and comment period for 45 days from May 20th, 2026 through July 6, 2026. Whereas notice of public comment period was duly provided through the appropriate channels. Whereas the board finds the adoption of the tenant selection plan necessary to ensure fair and compliant tenant selection. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Commissioners approves and adopts the tenant selection plan for the tenant-based rental assistance program, TBRA. The plan shall be effective 7/16/2026, and the executive director is authorized to finalize and implement this. Just to give you a little bit more background, I've
Thank you.
connected an additional document. I'll read that to you, but just so you know, Lieutenant, you may not remember.
Well, some time ago you mentioned this.
So you do
Okay,
remember.
that's,
So some-
I wasn't sure.
So some time ago, we did receive a grant.
Yes, you did,
for,
yes.
uh,
I thought you said electric bills and stuff like that.
Well, utilities are included.
Okay.
So, well, can be included. There's guidelines to it, but this is a rental assistance program that we received a grant for. In order to administer it, we have to have a tenant selection plan and affirmative marketing plan in place. Again, this is something that was supposed to be reintroduced so we could have begun housing by now. But we will move forward nonetheless. Well, one of the ways the program will work, so you understand, is that we have a current housing choice voucher list, where we'll pull people from that waiting list because we already have their capacity. They will not lose their place on the voucher waiting list. If they come to the top of the waiting list and find out an apartment and they're able to execute the Section 8 voucher, we will then release them from this program to that program, and they will continue, and we'll go to the next person. But this is a program that can help them in the meantime. And so they'll be able, in some cases, depending upon the qualifications, if they're eligible, if they're already living in a place, and we call them up to the top of the list, make sure they're income eligible and eligible for all other parts of the program, do the inspection. If the apartment passes, we can provide assistance to them for where they're currently. So, for example, we have a lot of residents who live in Crosswinds that are on our Section 8 waiting list. Some are living in.
But Crosswinds won't take Section 8. Oh,
No, it doesn't, but we can give them temporary.
Temporary,
rental
right.
assistance. That's the
Okay.
point.
So
So
everybody had to take Section 8.
no, everybody doesn't have to, like, you can't discriminate from taking it. You can't say I'm not taking Section 8, but some, for whatever reasons, whether people the landlords
So
price it out.
outside of Section 8.
Outside of the market. Yeah.
Now, do any of these reviews or people have to come up before the board?
No,
Or is that something
no,
just
that
done
we administer.
administration?
The
Okay,
administration. The administration of that program is through the housing.
okay.
And, I see here that it says they comply online. Is that like on our website or is it
Well,
like,
Go ahead, I'm sorry, finish your question.
no, you can go ahead.
So these are general rules, so here's the beautiful thing about this. The program is, we're adopting it and we'll set it up as it goes, right? The tenant selection program we developed is not just for now, but it's also for the future. So if we exhaust the list, and typically when we're in this program, it's very likely that we will get renewed. Right, and so as we continue to help people, if we exhaust all our people on the list, then we'll have the waiting list where they can apply online. But right now, that won't be necessary because we have the current.
How much do you remember? What was the grant for?
1.5.
Yeah, something like that, right?
Yeah.
And what is the tenant base, the board that we're setting up?
This is a tenant selection plan.
Yeah, oh, it's a plan.
Yes. So in other words, basically it's how we pull people from the waiting list. And it's largely coordinated with fair housing to make sure that we lay out exactly how it is that we pull residents from the waiting list.
That's coming later. Or did you send it
Well,
to
this
us? I'm
is a
sorry, I
public
may
meeting.
not have seen it.
No, this is the plan.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you have it here.
Okay,
This is the plan. We put it out for comment. It's been in the office. We've advertised it.
I
in the paper,
apologize.
in the
Yeah,
building.
yeah.
And basically, just to highlight, to go through it, let me read this to you because this will give a good back. This is a background statement from the board resolution. The Hudson Housing Authority accepted board approval of the attached tenant selection plan and affirmative marketing plan for the home funded tenant-based rental assistance program. The document establishes the policies and procedures that will govern applicant eligibility, waiting list administration, tenant selection, fair housing compliance, reasonable accommodations, unit requirements, and formal review procedures and ongoing program administration. The tenant selection plan is designed to ensure that the tenant-based rental assistance program is administered in a fair, equitable, transparent, and non-discriminatory manner while complying with home program regulations, HUD requirements, and applicable federal and state fair housing laws. The plan outlines eligibility standards, verification requirements, occupancy standards,
Here it is.
denial and appeal procedures, and annual waiting list updates and record retention requirements. The accompanying affirmative marketing plan establishes outreach strategies intended to affirmatively further fair housing and ensure that the eligible households, particularly those least likely to apply, are informed of available rental assistance opportunities. The plan includes targeted outreach to underserved populations, provisions for individuals with limited English proficiency and disabilities, fair housing advertisement requirements, and annual monitoring and review procedures. Board approval of this policy document will provide the authority with the formal framework for administering home TBRA assistance and will help ensure compliance with home program requirements, fair housing obligations, and applicable funding source requirements. The policy may be amended periodically by the board as necessary to reflect regulatory changes, program requirements, or local housing needs. And the recommended action is that the board approve the tenant selection and affirmative marketing plan for the home funded tenant-based rental assistance program and authorize staff to implement and administer the program in accordance with the approved policies.
And the plan is on the next
So
page.
without approval, we can't administer the policy.
Yeah, well, the plan is on the next page.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. The service area is Hudson
Columbia
only,
County.
Columbia County. Okay, good. And you have
It's
all
right there on the
info.
top, see? If you go back to the service area.
I
City of
apologize, I
Hudson.
didn't
No,
read
no,
this ahead of time.
It's okay.
I didn't-
City of Hudson, authorized service areas within Columbia.
Give me a minute.
So in other words, like saying that I wanted to move Lake to Haddon, the voucher will go that far.
Not for a current resident, if somebody's on the HCB waiting list and they're living somewhere where they want to move, as long as it's in Columbia County, they can,
But
I mean,
this
they
is a
can-
different,
they can talk about, because it's different from, so we now will be running 3 programs. We have a housing choice voucher program, which is Section 8. We have a project-based voucher program, which is for the building, the voucher belongs to the unit. And now we're administering, so we're taking on a new program to help more people. Now we're gonna be administering the tenant-based rental assistance program. So we're increasing our capacity.
but she was asking a question about, if she wanted to move from Chatham. Does she have like the option with her project-based voucher to take that with her, or?
She could, do a Section 8 voucher because of the, what do we call it? When a person is in PVV, I forgot this terminology for, but when a person applies a project-based voucher, they are entitled to, after a year, getting a voucher. I think it's a mobility voucher.
There we go. Yes, that's what I was.
They're entitled to receive a voucher and are able to move outside the, yes. If that answers your question. But not through this program. This is for currently going to be for people that are on our HCB waiting list.
Do they, I'll probably get, no, I didn't see it. Do they have to be a citizen?
Yes,
Okay,
they're citizen. We have whatever applicable HUD regulations there are for citizenship,
mhm,
we have to abide by them.
okay, great.
That is bullet number,
Bullet H, no. I guess I missed it, but yeah, that's what I wanted to make sure.
that is number 5, the verification process, immigration or citizen.
Residency and
application
community status, immigration citizen. When required, what does that mean?
So there are eligible non-citizens. The laws are changing, so we have to pay attention to that, but the way the law was before, is that they're eligible non-citizens. So in other words, you could have a mixed household where I am a citizen, but my spouse may not be. So what happens is, and people mistake this for using subsidy. The person that's not eligible is not subsidized.
Right,
So the rent is prorated and to that person that's not subsidized, so they actually less overall get less government assistance.
right. So it's to not punish, it's to not help those that are, but they happen to
Because
be
we're
in
in
some
different
that, right.
situations, so.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
Yep.
Got it.
Think that this is amazing. It's very good.
And I've been excited to get it started, but we couldn't move. but-
Right, I know, you
So-
mentioned this some months
So I
ago.
was itching about the meeting. So, yeah, we want to help as many people as possible. So without, if there are no more questions, yeah, have a motion.
I make Mary beat me to it.
Vice Chair has made a motion. Anybody second?
Second,
Seconded by Commissioner Joyner.
all
Roll
in
call
favor?
vote, Commissioner Smith,
Aye.
Commissioner Decker,
Aye.
Commissioner Young.
Aye.
Commissioner Joyner.
Aye.
Thank you, the motion carries. And that is all for the resolutions this evening. Thank you.
Yes. We have no executive sessions tonight. Do we have any public comment? Anybody online, anybody here?
Question.
I have a question about this thing, resolution 560. And I think I have the answer, but I want to get more clarity about it.
Sure, can you just, speak up a little and, please let us know your name.
Oh, I do apologize. My name is,
That is
my
okay.
name is Corey Wallen. And I had a question about the resolution that you just given of 560.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it may have been answered, but I just want to get clarity on it. Is it in the future, is it set up whereas the vouchers, can be sort of like tiers, and when I say tiers, whereas your income may be $1,000, and you're approved to that level. And then your income may be $3,000. You may not be approved for the level of the 1,000, but there's another tier that you're approved for that. And you can be approved. Do y'all have that set up here?
Well,
Do y'all offer that?
Well, the program is regulated. So the regulation is that it can go up to 60% of the median income. So in that respect, it is somewhat tiered because it can go as low as like we currently provide units for low and very low income residents. Like our residents' income is typically the low 30s. So we can go up to 60, so that will help us assist people in that need. This program is a little, to be honest, some people, once they get on this program, it's a little difficult to go to Section 8 because it gives a little less. This program is a little better, but it's only a 2.5-year program. So people can be assisted in that time. There is some opportunity for, according to the regulation, there is some opportunity for renewal. And also there are opportunities for the housing authority to get this. But we have to get it going and make sure that we administer it well and make sure that we abide by the regulations. We have to go through audits, like it's a whole different animal. So,
Okay, so the Section 8 is definitely different from this.
yes,
Section 8 is more beneficial, or this is better?
this may have more income. It's calculated a little different.
Can you apply? Yeah.
Yeah, I still have a question. 60%.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then, so let's say you can't make no more than $20,000.
Well, I don't know off the top of my head.
Yeah.
You can say 10,000 a year. And, somebody who's very still making it, but they're making 25,000. Of course, you can't live on 25,000 a year, and that's. Is there a tier of voucher for a person who's making, after the building's made, after the building's done, after everybody that's already in there has, after everybody who's low income, got them on that list, has been, after all of that is done. That person who has $25,000 a year be able to get into this program with a voucher for that particular tier.
So it's not tiered to that degree, but let me say something to you, because you just mentioned after the building, so you might be, this has nothing to do with the building, this is a separate program. However, our new development is gonna have even a greater AMI band, and we'll be able to help some of the people that you're speaking of, like that, those in between. Those folks that are working but still barely making it. So
Right.
will be yet an additional program we'll be able to help people.
So you got that chart, I understand now,
Mhm.
because that answer the question is, when you all were talking, y'all was asking my question. But I was just concerned about, what about, like, I think I shared this with somebody. When I got here in November, by May, I know 18 parents who, because they couldn't afford it, and they was working people. And I just don't want that to happen. They are
Understood.
heartbroken.
Understood.
That I even communicate with them now, and they are heartbroken because they love the area. So, and that's why I was kind of wondering if they're gonna have something to help them. And I don't know if they knew about Section 8, that I don't know about, but I'm just asking questions to them.
Understood. We can talk a little bit more about it offline, but our objective is to assist as many people as possible within our regulations and, who are on the waiting list, the people that we can actually reach. It would be great to be able to help all bands, people in every income band we could that needs it, but we are limited to the funding we have and the regulations, the program regulations that we're up down the line.
It's totally fine. Do something.
It could be. It could be. Thank you for your question.
Oh, I have a question. With this program, the 560, will you be able to service people that are not on the list?
Not at this time.
Okay,
Because
Right.
our list is so long.
okay, right. In other words,
It's
you
only
can, but
certain.
you'd rather take them from the list because they, okay.
Right, so
Right.
let me, to be more specific, we may only be able, because remember, we're gonna be assisting people paying their rent for a year or more. In some cases, if they find a new apartment, we'll be able to help them with security if they're eligible, and in some cases, we'll be able to help with utilities, like an initial, whatever the regulations, allow. But once we do the calculations based on the money and the administration of the program, we may be able to help anywhere between 25 to 27 people. So like 2.5 years. It's not as many as we want, but it's very impactful.
You
Because
mean
we're actually
27, just in 2 years, this one, because New York,
not in 2 years,
Yeah.
but for up to 2 years.
because
We'll
New
be able
York,
to assist
you know-
that many families.
you know what New York has? They have the voucher program where they actually pay people's rent. And I think it ranges from $2,700 a month for a 1 bedroom up to 4,000.
Well, there's different programs. So
Yeah,
this
so that's
program
something, this is something like it, but with a limited amount of money.
But like I said, you gotta remember,
And you have to.
think about if, let's just suppose, just for sake of understanding. Let's suppose I was assisted at $1,000 and John was assisted at $3,000.
That's 4,000 every month,
Every month, just for 2 people,
right, for a year,
for a year.
for 2 years.
Right, exactly. So that's
Yeah.
why. it
So that's
seems
where the
like a little-
calculation
and then
comes in.
one of us may need utility assistance or security assistance. I may be living in place already. He may be moving into a new building and needs to get started with utilities or security.
And there's no requirements for them to join a program to get a job or train or something like that, or increase their income, or, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
There's-
that is not a part of our program right now,
Okay.
but that is a federal program that is an initiative by the federal government, right?
But that's not a part, that's not a requirement
It's
of
not.
this,
So we're talking
of
about,
receiving this aid.
you talking about like not term limits, but
Is it possible we can partner up with an organization that does what she just said? Here at this facility, I mean, especially you got the building opening up, I'm sorry, I get excited. Anyway, especially when you got, open up the building and stay into that first floor, you may have different services. And one of those services can be what she's talking about. If we partner up with them, it may not be our project, your HHA project, but if we correlate or partner up with them for that service, maybe
So we absolutely love partnership, and I will welcome any training programs, apprenticeship programs, or, you know, anything that we can help get our folks to be more self-sufficient.
Yeah, but my question
That would
was
definitely
there a
have to be a
requirement?
partnership that we would welcome it.
No, my question was there a requirement that went
I
with this
understand.
grant? And there is none,
No.
which is amazing.
Yeah.
No, none from me. Any more questions?
Okay. Well, we will move right on to commissioners' time. Any more commissioners would like to say anything? I know already. Anything else?
Wasn't you?
That's
Oh, no, okay,
That's
thank
not
you.
necessary.
I feel guilty, that's why,
So-
sorry.
Well. Did you have time, Mary?
I got a question.
Yeah.
When are we getting a new truck? It's been since November of last year, the truck went on fire, so when are we getting a new one?
Truck for what?
There was a truck, we got a truck, so when it snows, they put the plow on it so they can plow. But then they had like add-on piece where, like saying you were getting new furniture. They would take your old furniture to the dump and then charge you with their being charged, well, we're being charged at the dump. So we haven't had one since November.
The truck broke down when we had.
It caught on fire.
And you think a truck is needed right
Yeah.
now? Because nobody can get their furniture to
To
the
the
dump
dump.
or, but what about that big, the truck, that garbage truck I see out there that they be putting
Well,
furniture in?
we can put stuff in the, well, we've had a dumpster on this,
Yeah.
but that was to empty out, some units that we were working on.
I'm sorry.
And we did allow people at that time, because it wasn't full, to get rid of some of their garbage at the time.
Yeah.
We are working on getting a truck. We have to make some calculated decisions. The elevator service is more important at this time. But that is something that is needed, and I'm working on, ways to get that, as well as making sure that we, are making a wise decision on the type of truck we purchase and the price that we pay. While our truck is good, we didn't put a lot of miles on it for the 11 years we had it. So I want to make sure that I'm just not, we're not just paying for a brand new truck for, it's going to be a big use. So we're looking and I'm waiting to get some information. So I don't have a date for you, but I'm looking.
Alright, so then my next question is piggybacking on that. So we do have the part that you guys took to the truck, we're in the parking lot. So why can't, if you have something to get rid of, why can't, if we're moving it out to there, why can't we do that? So,
Because it's garbage, and garbage attracts rodents and other things, and so that would not be beneficial for the property. Overall.
Now, do you guys still have, where you guys used to do like dump day, like,
Well, we
Every
did that
quarter.
before when we had the truck, that's what she's speaking. of,
Yeah.
And we were able to take the truck, and we had what they call large garbage. day
Yeah,
on
yeah.
Wednesdays of every month, but we're not able to take the large garbage to the dump like we used to. Which is why she's inquiring about, the commission's inquiring about the truck. But I'm definitely working on it. Listen, I want to get a truck before it snows, because we do plow. You know, but
That's
we're
amazing.
working on it, and we're working with them on a budget to get it out. Hopefully very soon, we're negotiating some things, and if those things come through, then we can be able to move more actively to this thing.
cause you know, we had that truck for 11 years and it only had 23,000 miles on it.
And how did it catch on fire?
The transmission or something.
It was like
backing it up, it was,
And it was like a recall or something like that.
Oh, and nobody ever took it for the adjustment?
well, listen, what,
Sorry.
it's not from, I won't say that it's a likely thing that has happened, but it is, you know, I've researched a little bit, and it has had some issues, not necessarily that severe, but it was a big snow day that day, and the plow was, you know, working and grinding. So unfortunately, yeah.
Well, can I suggest something? Don't they have company, like the dumpsters? when they drop them off.
They
Company
do.
pick them up,
They do.
okay?
They do. I'll be very, 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 very frank with you. I have a problem and concern about that. I do not want to have a dumpster drop somewhere permanently and regularly because.
Okay, that's
we would
exactly
then
what I was going.
attract illegal dumpers and the housing authority should
That's
not
true.
be paying
So
for other
illegal
people to dump the garbage. So that's unfortunate because, there's a lack of service, as the commissioner Decker has mentioned. But I'm trying to get it done so that we can do it the way we can control it and not have legal dumping.
Okay, I can agree.
I've seen it unfortunately be very.
Even the ones with the locks, because I've seen people break them.
Oh, yeah, but that's extra work for our staff and we're already limited. That's gonna be an additional duty. To lock it, to check it.
Then open it up when they need to. Yeah, I
So the
understand.
best solution is to get a truck in.
I understand what you were saying, because there was somebody, when we did have the dumpster, when you were cleaning out the apartment, somebody actually climbed in it to get some stuff out of it. Because you can make money, like saying somebody threw a miniature refrigerator out. There's parts in there that they can keep and to go get money for it.
Right.
So I said, can you please not do that? He's like, well, are you the owner of it? Because it's out in its face, so it's open to the, I said, but sir, we're paying for it, this building is paying for that. He's like, I'm sorry, but can I take the stuff I already took out? I said, yeah, take it, you already dug it out, like, who cares? But it's just the whole fact, like, if you have stuff,
you do that? It's called dumpster diving.
yeah.
And those are scraps like people get in.
Yeah, I didn't know they.
Yeah, because you get the coils from the.
So all the good stuff that, oh my God, thanks for telling me.
I
It's
did
done
not-
frequently. Matter of fact, it's on my mind the other night.
And then I have one more question, security guard, whenever you're gonna get a new, either a new one,
What?
security guard.
So our current security guard is on loan to our maintenance department because we're short staffed. We have advertised to hire. We've had limited applications and we've not.
For maintenance, so it's
Yes. For maintenance, we've had limited applications and, just because a person applies doesn't mean that they're unfit. So we've had limited applications and some of those that apply with, plans. So we are hiring, it's on our website,
Take your time. You're doing the right thing. Not everybody should get a key to everybody.
that's good.
Thank
We
you.
did hire one person that's so far so good, but that other than a security person, I'm sorry, the security person is filling in because we had 3 people. To help make sure that we have the services in the building taken care of, provided for the residents. As opposed to having security guard. That's the only option I have.
How many maintenance people do we have? Three?
Typically, we have 3.
Three, and they all work the same hours, or so after 3 o'clock, we have, after 4 o'clock, we have no maintenance.
No,
Is there a
There's not
reason
really-
for them all working
there's no,
7 to 4?
there's no need for even the waste. They're there working with a supervisor, their daily tasks and daily. If we have emergency calls in the evening, we have people respond that way. But there's no need there's not enough work for that to be a productive position for a person to work over.
So they mop the floor during the day?
They do.
So I always thought that maybe if that could be moved to the nighttime.
Yeah, we're not New York City.
Right.
It can
New York
provide,
City
wait a minute,
can do
let me finish,
New York
it can
City- no,
provide
they've
not
done it
only,
in New York City.
wait a
where
minute,
the buildings
let me
are
finish.
really-
Not
It
my
can,
mom's
let me
building.
finish, it can not only
Exactly.
provide a service of mopping the floor, but it also can provide protection. Because if a person is mopping, especially the staircase, from the top to the bottom at night, it can be a double-edged, service. That's why I was saying, why do you have them all on the same hour, same time?
I understand your point, but it takes a special type of employee to do that type of work. They have to be reliable, dependable, not, because nobody's watching. And that's rare. So I don't think it's a wise way to spend the housing authority's money.
Besides, Mike comes on the weekend sometimes, and he cleans up, and I'll see him.
Well, we have somebody that they come.
And it's Monday to Friday? It's
Yeah,
not
but they come
weekends?
every Saturday for an hour
Yeah.
to dump the
And he
garbage.
cleans up, and he clean the parking lot, I watches
Yeah.
him.
Well,
Yeah.
and this week he came because we're preparing for our tenant appreciation day. So they wanted to I wanted to ensure that the grass was cut
Yeah, I kinda know.
and,
Okay.
and so they came.
He said that, he said, you gotta have it clean, this and that, I said, listen, do whatever you wanna do.
Is that part of his,
That
his
was
job
overtime.
or overtime?
Oh, he cuts grass. That's part of his job, but yeah.
But coming on Saturdays is
It
overtime.
was overtime. Well,
So,
and it was better
so we have
because.
3, same time, same days of working.
And when he clean the floor, just ask the maintenance to look behind the double doors. Cause there's garbage behind there on 4, and it's been there for at least 3 weeks. I mean, it's a candy wrapper, but still, if you just close them, just sweep.
Thank you. Please, going for, make sure the offices are there.
I put in a work order, but I see extra stuff after my clean, I always go and put in a work order,
Thank you.
because I don't wanna slip.
And that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Did we participate in the Columbia Green Workforce this year for the youth?
Oh, we have one. We did last year. We had two people and they weren't even here 3 days. It wasn't even about the work. They just didn't show up. So this year we were supposed to get 2 people. We have 1 person. And so far so good to me.
How many people did you say total?
How many of they want to say? Yeah, we'll take as many as,
Cause
like,
we don't
we
pay for
had as
them.
many as 3, I think.
We don't pay for them.
No. we don't.
We don't?
No, another agency pays.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yes. We've had 2, at least 2, people that work maintenance and 1 person in the office. So we've had 3 people at one time. They didn't last all summer like I want. And it's not us, it's the children. They don't, they don't want to do this type of work or they don't want to work.
Do they only reach out to people within the county or is it expanded?
I'm uncertain. of who
It's
they
Yeah.
are.
Columbia and Green County.
Okay.
We just accept the people for, it's like a summer youth program, summer youth employment program.
That the college does, the community college. Any more questions or comments? I'll make a motion to adjourn.
And I'll second it. Before you adjourn, AmeriCorps, can't get no AmeriCorps people to work here?
You can talk about how much, you can educate me, I don't really know.
Oh, okay, because they be wanting to place people.
Okay, we can talk about it.
Okay.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.